Today we're going to talk about whole life, and in talking about whole life, we will also talk about final expense. Let's first start with final expense because it can be some of the easiest policies to talk about. With a final expense, you have two types. You got guaranteed issue and you have the regular final expense, which has very heavy underwriting. Guaranteed issue, if you have health conditions, that's when we want a guaranteed issue. They do limit you on the face amount. Usually it's 20,000 or less. Sometimes it can be 5,000 or less. Um, with guaranteed issue, they do not do the underwriting, but the premiums are higher. Also, smoking, non-smoking does factor in with final expense just as it does with any life policy. Um, Sex does matter with the rates. Um, they can look at your occupation as to whether you're in a hazardous occupation or not and choose to cover you or not cover you. Final expense, for the most part, where there's heavy underwriting, is anything $100,000 face amount or down. Uh, as part of this insurance agency's policy, we look at what you are planning on for a funeral. So if you're planning on being cremated, we're looking at about a $5,000 to $10,000 face amount. We don't look at doing much more than that. We will look at basically if you do want to leave some to family members and how much you want to leave to family members and calculate that in. If you're wanting an actual funeral and to be buried in the ground, then we look at 10,000 plus. Uh, and in looking at 10,000 plus, we will write it. Generally, a funeral is going to be about 10,000 to about 25,000, depending on how fancy of a funeral you go. You can have even more fancier funerals and pay more, um, and it's all up to you. We'll look at what you want and try to base a policy on that. Um, but for a final expense, you're generally going to be under $100,000. You can even have it where it leaves a little bit to your loved ones. Then you have whole life. Anything over $100,000 is just considered a whole life policy. Any kind of whole life, whether it's final expense or not, it earns cash value. So these policies do have cash values. You can take loans out against, you can draw some of your cash value out, but in doing so, you can hurt yourself. These do not earn as much cash value, and the loan percentage can be almost what you're earning, if not more than what you're earning in cash value. So generally, it's not recommended to take a loan or to draw off because then you can hurt your death benefit. That gives you a little bit of information about whole life and final expense. If you're interested in wanting to learn more, or you want to get a policy quote, then please feel free to give us a call at 662 912 3914. Thank you and have a nice day.